Our next guest tonight was at the Lewandowski hearing today. Joining us tonight, Congressman Matt Gaetz, a member of the Judiciary Committee and the House Armed Services Committee as well. Congressman, I want to say, first of all, welcome to the broadcast, and I want the audience, if you can bear with us here just for a moment, to listen to you at some length. I thought this was a terrific statement. Let's listen to the congressman before we begin this interview.
Has an inspector general employed by the United States government ever accused you of breaking the law?
No.
No, but they have done that with James Comey, and yet the leadership of this committee will not bring James Comey before, even though the Inspector General said that his work impaired the credibility and efforts of over 35,000 FBI agents and the brave people fighting for our country. It's a shame that you're here, Mr. Lewandowski. Jim Comey should be sitting in that chair. He should be answering questions about why he did so much damage to the FBI in our country, including not giving you the briefing that you were entitled to.
The briefing on Russian interference in the 2016 elections. Congressman, you're exactly right, and there seems to be no even embarrassment on the part of the radical Dems in that committee, the Judiciary Committee. They didn't know, they weren't prepared. It was a bizarre atmosphere and a purposeless hearing. I can't even imagine what they thought they could get out of this. Your thoughts?
House Democrats today sort of looked like the dog that caught the car that didn't know quite what to do with it. I thought Corey Lewandowski was fantastic. I thought he equipped himself very well. And Lou, now House Democrats have launched an impeachment endeavor that the American people don't understand and that even House Democrats cannot explain. We've had contradictory statements out of the Judiciary Chairman, the Majority Leader, the Speaker of the House. They're all pointing fingers at each other. But you have highlighted the central point. Instead of relitigating the Mueller report, instead of bringing actors in to read out the portions of the Mueller report that reference them, we should be getting to the bottom of why this corrupt investigation began in the first place. The good news is that today we have evidence that we didn't have just weeks ago. The Inspector General pointed out the numerous occasions where Jim Comey operated outside of the law, and he did so, in my opinion, with corrupt purpose and corrupt intent, because he wasn't trying to find out the truth about Russia or their intentions. Instead, he was trying to craft the media's narrative and the media's depiction of President Trump in the most negative possible way, and that's what we can never allow to have happen again at the FBI.
You know, I have to be honest. I thought there was a little too much comity in the committee today. You've got a chairman. Some people are rationalizing, saying that he's afraid of potential primary opposition.
That's obvious.
But he is abusing his power. It is a farcical fiction to suggest that this president has committed anything that could rise to the level of serious impeachment, and yet he proceeds. And the Republicans, you have all responded, and I think with appropriate passion and point. But what are you going to do about this? Otherwise, we're really saying to the American people, all you have to do, if you don't like the person who's been elected president, or if you want to go in an entirely different direction than the expression of the will of the people, just attack viciously with all the venality that you can muster, and the hell with it, scorch the earth and destroy your opponents. That's the Democratic initiative.
And the reason why that is so damaging to our democracy is because instead of debating the important issues like asylum reform, like border security, instead Democrats are trying to distract us with an impeachment endeavor that the American people are against. It's not as if, Lou, you and I just talk about these things and speak them into existence. Every bit of public polling suggests that the American people would like to have the politicians move on from the crazy Russia hoax. Now, we do have to have accountability for the people that went before secret courts and broke the law, but I think Democrats are actually harming themselves more than anyone else.
Well, now, don't you be one of those Republicans worrying about those little old Democrats, because I've heard too many of your colleagues in the Republican Party on that Hill trying to advise the Democratic Party. I wish to hell they'd all start advising the Republican Party and
Well, we should have
accepting
done
nothing
more.
less than fierce defense of the president.
You pointed out for 2 years on this show with Republicans and Democrats that Paul Ryan was standing in the way of our oversight efforts. Democrats today are handing out subpoenas like they're candy. You know how many subpoenas the Republican Congress issued to drill down into this investigation? Zero, Lou. Zero. Every time we were closing in on Brennan or Clapper or Comey, Paul Ryan would throw up obstructions and would not allow us to really get to the bottom of these issues. And we've seen the Inspector General now produce a substantial amount of evidence. But the reason we're behind today is not solely a consequence of the Democrats. We need to look into the mirror about that. Right. And frankly, our prior leadership let us down.
And this president is talking about those rhinos, and he's doing so in direct terms, I am delighted to say, because it is rhinos are the fifth column in the Republican Party, and no good will come of it if you persist in tolerating that kind of, that kind of Democrat, because that's really what they are. Do you agree?
I agree that for us to get the full benefit out of the Donald Trump presidency, we need people who are actually going to embrace this president. We just swore in 2 new members of the North Carolina delegation. And you know what Mr. Bishop said to me right before he took the oath? He said, we have got to stand with this president. We've got to fight for this president because that's the way we can deliver the results that will ultimately bring the American people into full line with our agenda and with our political ambitions for the 2020 election. So I think that that's the right way to do things. It is different than the way Paul Ryan used to do things, but we've learned our lesson, we've taken our lumps, and now it's time for us to go charging up the hill with our swords pointed straight ahead.
Absolutely. A fierce battle cry. The Sioux, let my enemy be worthy. Yours won't be, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't defeat them. Congressman
Amen.
Matt Gaetz, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lou.
Good to